First off, it's important to know that the process of appealing a criminal case or choosing to have a traffic offense heard in court involves different procedures and considerations. The appeal journey from criminal or traffic case that commences by way of a court attendance notice rather than a penalty notice begins when you disagree with the decision made by the local court magistrate. You can then make an appeal to the district court. There are two types of appeals you can lodge in the district court. You have conviction appeals, which are where you are appealing against being found guilty of an offense. The district court will make an independent decision regarding whether the local court magistrate was correct to find that the evidence before the local court was enough to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And then you have severity appeals, which when filed by a defendant, assess whether the penalty imposed was too harsh. The appeals can also be filed by the prosecution if it feels the penalty imposed in the local court was too lenient, in which case the prosecution will need to establish the penalty was manifestly inadequate. Now, an interesting fact is the Parker warning, a mandatory warning given if a harsher penalty is being considered. Yes, you heard it right. Sometimes, appealing a decision can potentially lead to a harsher penalty. If the district court judge gives a Parker warning, by making it clear the judge is considering a more severe penalty than that which was imposed in the local court, the defendant or a lawyer on their behalf can seek the court's leave or permission to withdraw the appeal at that stage, effectively stopping a harsher penalty from being imposed. If the criminal case was dealt with by the district or Supreme Court other than by way of an appeal, so a case that involved a jury trial or sentencing in one of those courts, the appeal will go to the New South Wales Court of Criminal Appeal. But here's the catch. In this scenario, you need to demonstrate an error of law. It's not as simple as having the prior outcome in the district or Supreme Court redetermined. Choosing to have a penalty notice for a driving offense such as speeding, red light camera, or illegal mobile phone use referred to the local court is another beast altogether. This type of appeal is often known as a driver license appeal and can involve a dispute about whether the offense was committed at all or admitting guilt and seeking leniency. If the matter goes to a defended hearing and the magistrate finds the prosecution has failed to prove the offense, an acquittal will be entered and there will be no penalty. If leniency is sought and the right appeal steps are followed, the magistrate may reduce the penalty or even enter a non-conviction order, such as a Section 10 dismissal in certain circumstances. But beware, if you do elect to take a penalty notice to court and are unsuccessful, the penalties may be greater than those that came with the initial penalty notice. So as you can see, appealing a court decision can lead to a positive outcome, such as an acquittal or a more lenient penalty. But certain appeals can also carry risks. For that reason, it is always a good idea to consult an experienced appeal lawyer before making a decision. So to recap, appealing a criminal case to a higher court or contesting a penalty notice for a traffic offense in the local court can result in a favorable outcome, but it can also carry risks. The risk of an adverse outcome is greatly reduced in criminal cases appealed from the local to the district court by the requirement for the judge to issue a Parker warning. These types of appeals are decided on the merits of the case. Appeals from the District or Supreme Court to the New South Wales Court of Criminal Appeal are not protected by Parker warnings, and the three-judge panel will determine whether there has been an error of law and make findings accordingly. Careful consideration should be given before electing to take a penalty notice to the local court, because while this can help you to avoid demerit points or the loss of license, it may also result in a heavier penalty in the event of an unfavorable outcome. Watch our latest video here.